Brothers, there's something I've been sitting with for a long time, and it is this idea of how easily a role can become an identity. And this is through lived experience. I'm not trying to dramatize this, and this isn't a thought that happened overnight. Actually, it's been my life's path and life story, and really that unraveling slowly, quietly over many years through the shifts and the progress and the change that I've made. I've noticed it happening. Every role we step into serves a purpose. Whether you as a soldier like myself, you are a law enforcer, a doctor, a coach, a provider, a leader of some way, shape or form. Maybe that's within your relationship or as a parent. These roles exist because we have responsibility. And with responsibility comes discipline. We need commitment. And ultimately this comes down to self-leadership. And many people give their best years to serving through them. But here is the part that we don't talk about enough. A role is something that we do. It is not who we are. It is merely just one of the personas, the hats that we wear. Here's where the challenge comes in. When the role becomes a reference point for our self-worth, when we value performance as a measure for approval and by how well the role is played. And I've been there. I strived for excellence within the military and achieved it and promoted very quickly. As a competitive athlete, I've done incredibly well. But here's the thing, that wasn't my truth. That is merely a part of my expression within that particular area that gave me skill sets and experience that shaped who I am today, and I'm truly grateful and thankful for that. And we must realize that we must express gratitude for all that we've been shown and gifted. But we must continually evolve, and to continually evolve, we've got to go with the flow and not cling on to past versions, which really becomes identity. But often that is not built on truth and authenticity of who we truly are. So under every uniform, title, responsibility, there is still a human being. Someone who goes home at the end of the day. Someone who relates to their partner, to their children, to their friends, to their family. A person who sits at a dining table and eats food, worries about making ends meet, paying those bills, trying to be as present for self and others as possible, with all the roles and responsibilities and the stresses and the strains that come with being a man. And ultimately we strive for all of this for safety, for peace and presence and freedom, none of which that is truly expressed because we are operating from reaction rather than presence. Often when we wake up in the morning, we respond to the alarm clock or the need of something else to fulfill that role in order to pay this or do that. So when we go home and that uniform is off, we are just the same as everyone else. But all this can get buried. It's very interesting, some of the stuff that I've been watching online, and really it's men taking a stand for themselves, their livelihood and their children, and really for the future. And these great men have took a stand, but you don't see this on the mainstream news. And that is deeply worrying. But also seeing the people that wear these uniforms trying to get these people in line, in order, and suppress this. But here's the thing, no one is here to blame. We're all part of the same. Many of us have been misled. I was misled. And we must understand that we are all the same and not combat each other. But all of this is because we've been led to believe that these roles and responsibilities increase our status and then give us these benefits, and they're helping the greater good, when in actual fact they may not. So to see law enforcers asserting force and public order on people that are merely speaking for their rights and their survival and their livelihood and their future and their children's future is crazy, really, to think. So questioning our identity does not mean rejecting responsibility. It does not mean disrespecting service or contribution. All of these things we should be doing. It means asking deeper questions. Who am I actually when this role is not present? So when I step out of this role, who am I? Do I step into another role? What happens here? What values remain when the structure is removed? What parts of me have been ignored because they don't fit this particular role? Now, when we remove this is not weakness, this is growth. We're thinking with an expansive growth mindset. There's been many chapters in my life that I've reflected on, but during those periods of time, they actually defined me. But now they do not define me in any one particular area. They've helped construct me. And what I've realised is those roles were not wrong. I was doing the best that I could at that particular time. And now they serve me and the greater good through this perspective and understanding. And those realizations have changed everything for me. Growth often begins when a man is willing to question the beliefs he once lived by, not to judge the past, not to tear anything down, but to integrate it into the day-to-day. So let's take these lessons and the discipline and the strength and bring them forward into a complete version of ourselves. Now, if any of this resonates, sit with it. Beauty really comes through with stillness. So you don't need to answer these right now. However, if they roll off your tongue or spring into your thoughts, then great, put them down. But everything starts with awareness. And in stillness, this is really where the magic happens. But also, don't be reactive. We don't need to act right now in this second. What you're doing is right. Right now is enough. Have a beautiful day, people.